Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it's Exodus. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Of the engine a run like mechanic room.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
The time has come for lions to tell their own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Dejazmatch hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, Whoa, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Haile, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empress Men in Bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Ras Makonnen and Ethiopian.
Aye.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Yo, this is Zeladina representing for Ras Kwasi and the whole lion voice family. Now listen this is the realest thing. Him closer to me than a brother. Him a me G, me a tell him I'm a lion. Me a go tell you how me feel, me a go keep it real. Me nah go wait till him lay down on the mark. Lion voice never talk bad about me yet. Him realness me can't forget. Cause when a game time him never bench me. Him never rise up against me yet. No, the friendship connect. It's funny how we can talk in front of a million people and never yet drop no catch. So a loyalty till death. Lion voice, and Zeladina representing. Up.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
Greetings, this is Haile. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Haile said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the lion's voice. We are here to tell our own story. Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here, hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Alright, so continuing on with family, we're going to talk about the drums right now. The bass drum is the foundation. It gives off that frequency. It encompasses and surrounds and keeps the idea within a one place. It's always on the one. One sound, one mute. Alright, very important.
The more aware you are of yourself, the more you come to know yourself, the more mindful you are, okay, is the more skilled you become at using this powerful engine, which is your mind.
And then the resolution is like just finishing up the lessons now and just saying yes, and reminding people of the theme of your story. So, you know, the theme of this story was the importance of agriculture.
For the motherland, cradle of civilization, for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit, for the elders whom we can learn much, for the youth who represent our promise for tomorrow, for the people, the original people, for the struggle and remembrance of those who struggled on our behalf, for Umoja, the principle of unity that guides us in all we do, for the Creator who created all the things great and small. We give thanks.
Let's go through the principles. The first one, blessed love and greetings. Welcome to day 5, our last day of camp. That's sad, right? Too short. Just when I started to have fun, it's over. But it's been fun, and we'll do this again next year, most definitely. Looking forward to seeing you all again, and stay connected after camp.
Government is trapping the system.
Jano, I'm so hungry, bro. I haven't eaten all day. Like, my head started to hurt me too. Like, what now could I eat right now?
What about a city samosa? samosa, a fusion of Indian, Jamaican, and African culture. City samosas, the best samosas in the city.
Yeah. I shall lift up I eyes unto the hills from whence cometh I help. I help coming from the true living eyes, Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the first, who created Zion and earth. He shall not suffer I foot to be moved. I hold, he that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. Well, youths in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The youths them rise against brutality, man a kill another man for your salary. Them train them at the shooting gallery, black and loot, you might lose all your family. Them defend white supremacy, so them see the African as them enemy. It's been like this for centuries, them sick mentally. That's why we have you out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Them said them tired of the looting, I and I tired of them shooting. Ku Klux Klan they recruiting, then them dress up in a blue suit and they're brutalizing our youths them. No court, they just execute them till the people start learn the truth and the black youth go strap on them Gideon boot and them out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The Most High denounce their philosophy, talk to United Nations properly. He said we will fight if necessary and be confident in the victory. They try to erase our history, they wanted to change our destiny, cause we are the children of the Almighty, destined to lead the whole world to harmony. Them out in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning. Well, front to us a son was born and a child was given.
I want to ask you a question. Have you gotten your book? Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1, The Rise of the Priest Warrior King. I've read the book in its entirety and I must say it's very inspirational, very informative and very historical, right?
Them call him Lidj Tafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Lidj Tafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Lidj Tafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Lidj Tafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration from Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Woizero Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to Lion Talk Live and welcome
to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Tonight, we have a very special guest, no stranger to the channel. For those who know you know that these type of episodes are among I favorite. We are going to go deep into some history, family. It is Lidj Tafari month on the Lion Voice Network. Who is Lidj Tafari? Lidj Tafari is the son of Ras Makonnen and Woizero Yeshimabet Ali. And we're going to find out more about Yeshimebet. Lidj Tafari would become the Dejazmatch Tafari, would become Ras Tafari, would become Migos Tafari, would become the Wosanagas, Haile, Selassie the first. So we are going to the origin story. The item know I wrote a book about the birth of His Majesty, and our guest today wrote one of the seminal works that I cited in that book when I was looking for facts about His Majesty's mother. And what I love about the book is that she traveled to Ethiopia, traveled to Wollo, traveled to where Yeshimebet was from. So she did some first-hand research. So we're going to go deep into the book. I have the book here, an original. The book doesn't look like this anymore. So this copy worth $10 million. You know what I mean? And mine signed too. So me not sell it. So I am the reading Ras. Tonight I will be conducting this reasoning in my capacity as the reading Ras. So be prepared. Get your ital snacks. Get your meditation correct, because tonight we are going to be fully in the Lion Talk time machine. We're going forward into the ancient realm of Ethiopia, up into the holy mountains. We're going to touch on the various aspects of Ethiopian culture, the significance of the time. We might touch a little prophecy too. You'd never know, because I guess is also a Nyabingi matriarch of the Chad. You know what I mean? So we can go all different angles. Before I do that, let me just take time to big up the greatest online community. I'm biased because the item support I, but the Lion Pride, if you subscribe, the item are part of the Lion Pride. We just hit 45,000 strong in the Lion Pride. Some of the item were here before we had 100 subscribers, and you're still there with me. And as you can see, we never ease up, we never cease. We keep on fighting this fight. It's not easy. You know, it's not a huge financial reward. It's a whole heap of sacrifice and time. I don't go out my house much anymore because we are we're doing interviews, we're building, but we have a vision. And I really respect those of the item who have been supporting, see the vision early. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. We just added a new member, Precious Cornerstone. Big up yourself. One of the greatest compliments to a person creating content is when you support them with your dollars every month in a platform like Patreon. And this brethren, he came in, he stopped, for whatever reason, life happens, you're not able to continue the monthly support, but it's a testament when a brethren who was there from early come forward and recommit and come forward and say, yes, I'm here, I'm able to give us strength now. That shows that I'm doing the right thing. And even though we are only about 36 strong, 37 strong in the Lion Pride on Patreon out of 45,000 plus, I still am confident that the time will come when His Majesty will touch the hearts of the item to support monthly, and we can build this into a major Rastafari content platform. You know what I mean? We don't want to look on BBC and feel like BBC better than we, or CNN better than we. No, we're supposed to have all of the resource to do the top quality work. We're supposed to can turn Mama Wlette book into a documentary where we fund it and we go to Wollo, and when you read the book you can see what we are doing, and it's full production team and it's all Ras's cinematography. That's the vision we have for this platform, but we can't do it without the item supporting. And I say no one is coming to save us. So I'm not even talking to anyone trying to convince anybody anything. I'm talking to I and I family when know I we always give I that verbal strength. We're asking the item to invest what you can, so we can make this strong. Also, we are bigging up the Action Lion Pride. You don't have a dollar, I don't scan the item. Just like, comment, share, spread it out, make the thing go to the four corners of creation. If you can do that and you just watch and big up yourself, same way you watch. The watch hours help with the channel, the monetization on the channel. The peepers, you come to see we pop down, whatever you need to do to make you happy. But it's dangerous if you're a peeper because you may fall in love with the content. It's so positive. We just uploaded our Rastafari and STEM Richard James out of Montego Bay. Math genius, Rastafari brethren, breaking down how we use math every day. That clip is up on the platform. Imaru Tafari, the daughter of dancehall legend, we just put up that clip, another clip from Imaru, serious reasoning. We have some big reasonings. Mama Yanzi, one of my Naya Bingra matriarchs, I was able to sit down with her. We're going to have that uploaded shortly. We have Ras Shiloh. We have so much loaded. I don't even want to take away some of the surprises from the eye. We're also lining up some reasoning with some Ethiopian elders. I'm trying to get some of the elders that past people who interacted with His Majesty. So we're working on that. So stay tuned. We're not staying stagnant with this content, family. We are really seeking. I have Wolete brethren and sister I know 30 plus years that haven't been on the platform that are doing massive work. So don't feel like we are run out or it'll go get stale. No, we are doing what we have to do. Big up Ramia King Design, Ras Lidj when I'm sipping. I'm sipping from a Rastafari business. Big up Ras Sekou Tafari. Big up Ras Sekou. Big up Brother Carl Philpotts. All of the ones them who are supporting the platform, advertising their products, City Samosa. We're creating a whole Rastafari infrastructure here because it's not only for I&I to rise, but for I&I to have an audience where when you have your product or service, you can find the audience that's looking for Rastafari or Pan-African goods and services. We're creating our own ecosystem family, with the family, for the family, and we're feeding the root. We could make it about the artists, we could make it hype. We have that ability and grow a lot faster, monetize a lot quicker. But my vision with this was that we needed a platform to feed the root of the movement so that we are strong. That means grassroots, that means the farmer, that means the mechanic, that means the professor. And tonight we have a doctor, a librarian. We have one of the great intellectual minds among us tonight, family. So housekeeping out of the way, and we start with the housekeeping because you must clean your house before you come a road. These are the principles. We want this to be sustainable. We don't want you here say, say Ras Kwasi used to have a channel and it did nice, and Ras Kwasi had to stop because I'm youth, them I go college and him need to find money. It shouldn't be that way. It should be that we can move forward in these passions and it be funded. So family, support the thing. Housekeeping gone now. Help us to welcome, and I want to big up everybody who's watching live. I know he's a big celebrity because I know the crowd coming from early to hear this one. This one is going to be so beautiful. One of my closest sisters, someone that we've traveled on the battlefield, chant Isis together year after year. Study group, my co-host in study group. I can't say enough good things. One of my biggest supporters when it come on to whether Patreon, when it come on to music, an encouraging word. Lion Pride family, give her a warm greetings in the comments for our guest of the evening, Dr. Mama Wolete Beresford. Royal greetings.
Royal greetings. Yes, I give thanks. I'm live, Dejazmatch.
Yes, you're alive in
All
living
right.
color.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, give thanks. Give thanks for having I once again on the Lion's Voice. The I is doing the I and the I's family. I have to big up my sister and Mama Shireen. And also,
Yes.
yeah, Asantiwa and Tafari. I know it's a family affair, and the
Yes.
I is doing mighty, mighty work with the Lion's Voice, Dejazmatch. So give thanks for having I on the platform again, and I am honored, and I know it is a privilege, and I am so thankful. So give thanks.
Give
Yes.
thanks. Before we get into the topic, just for the ones who may be watching for the first time, because I know the title will bring in a lot of new ones. Just introduce the self and give them a little bit of the background.
Yes. Okay. So Dr. Wlette, Dr. Dina Marie Beresford, also known as Dr. Wolete Beresford or Mama Wlette. Um, I'm in the DMV area in Maryland, work in DC as a library manager. Um, I am the current chairperson of the I-niversal Development of Rastafari, IDOR, which is in its 20th year of existence. So big up and give thanks to IDOR, the IDOR board, and all of the supporters of IDOR. I am also the owner of Yeshimebet Books and Things, which is a Pan-African bookstore, cultural clothing, crafts. I am the Cree lover of that crown that Dejazmatch Kwasi is wearing. I also make,
Yes.
yes, Rastafari crochet tams. Born in Trinidad, grew up in New York, trotting Rastafari for almost 40 years now. Sight up the trot at age 12 and put on my covenant at 19. Um, I am the author of 3 books. The first book is part of the focus of this reasoning this evening. It's Gurage, the story of a Wollo Princess, Yeshimebet Ali AbaJifar. And this is the seminal work, meaning the first of its kind, about His Majesty Haile Selassie, the first mother. I'm also the author of Charting the Matriarchal Shift in the Rastafari Movement, Reclaiming a Divine Heritage. And this is the book that documents a shift that I've seen take place within the Rastafari movement. And my third book, which is soon to be released, Sacred Vessels, Rastafari Women as Living Sanctuaries. Okay,
Okay.
so that's a little bit about I. I'm also a board member of SOSA Crew,
Yes.
School of the Sacrament, Rastafari University. Yes, sir. Give thanks to Jazz
Give
Match.
thanks. Give thanks. I want to just say again what an honor. I see some of the Lion Pride on Patreon, and I see some of the family here, St. Croix checking in, tuning in from Virginia tonight. Okay,
That's my cousin. That's Aishiba. That's my cousin
okay,
Aishiba.
blessing
Al
Aishiba.
Kevin
Big up
and
yourself.
Empress Sounds. Yes, big up
Big up
yourself, Mama
yourself.
Aisha. Oh,
Fear,
yes.
blessing Mama Fear gave
Give
I link to Mama
thanks.
Yanzi. Mama Yanzi,
Oh, Zawadia from Florida. Greetings.
okay, blessing, blessing, blessing.
Greetings.
Prince William, Lidj
Oh,
Tafari, yes,
yes,
beautiful.
Georgia.
Yes, Georgia checking in. Rastafari greetings
Yes.
and blessings to the Lion Voice, perfect love, health, and strength. Reside, that is Grenada checking in there, hailing in from
Yes, I.
Grenada.
Ooh, big up yourself, Spice Island.
Haile. Van Rick Pope, Lion Pride and Patreon checking in from the UK. That's right, the works
Thanks.
must rise. Give thanks. This is way up in the hours, Van Rick. Big up yourself. If you
Yeah,
can
it's
stay awake.
midnight or more.
Yes. Blessings. Lidj Tafari. What's that?
Yes.
Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh checking in.
Give thanks, blessings.
Yes,
Yes,
blessed
by St.
Lord.
Lucia, Pennsylvania. Yes.
Haile, Rastafari. So the family is here. We have 28 ones watching live. Hundreds more will watch after. All right, family. Let me set the scene now. We're gonna use the Lion Talk time machine. You know this is a technology STEM channel, so me have my time machine where me use and me use word sound and activate it. So don't try get the pattern feed. You have to learn how to do it yourself. I'm gonna ask Mama Wlette to step into this Lion Talk time machine and to take us
Yes.
through the
All right.
origin story of Yeshimebet Ali. Take us to the holy mountains of Zion and set the picture. Who is the mother of Lidj Tafari?
Yes. Greetings again. Yes. Um, the mother of Lidj Tafari, Yeshimebet Ali AbaJifar. She is the daughter of a former trader from Gondar and also the leadership or the chieftain of the Waro people. And that is the easiest way to pronounce that is Warailu, Waro people of Wollo. So her father is Dejazmatch Ali AbaJifar. The title Dejazmatch, according to the research, is likened onto a count. So she's the daughter of what would be equivalent to a count, the daughter of a chieftain of the Waro people, who were the dominant people of the Wollo region, and also the daughter of a former trader from Gondar. So Yeshimebet Ali AbaJifar is born to what can be termed petty nobility. It's not the monarchy of Ethiopia or the leading families of Ethiopia, but she is born to petty nobility. So she comes with her own um, regality and her own um, royalty and nobility. Her mother, Woizero Wlette Georgis, was the daughter of Atto, and Atto is another military title within Ethiopia. She was the daughter of Atto Yimeru, and Yimeru was Yimeru of the Gurage. So she comes with the Gurage heritage on her father's, on her, I pray the eye, on her mother's side. So it would be her paternal grandfather is Atto Yimeru, and her father is Ali AbaJifar, Dejazmatch Ali AbaJifar. So there's some
And this is
Muslim
important.
heritage.
Stick a pin. This is important because Yeshimabet's mother was one of His Majesty's primary caregiver in his youthful days. So we're going to come forward to the grandma, but continue.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So let's remind Ioni's audience of her name, Dejazmatch. So she is Woizero Wlette Georgis. This is Yeshimabet's mother. And she later became Imabet Hoy. So that's Imabet, Imabet, and Hoy. And Imabet Hoy is a title that is given on to women that take a vow, not necessarily of celibacy, but a vow to become what would equate a nun or a Franciscan. So she had gone into a very holy life in her latter days. And the Woizero Wlette Georgis became Imabet Hoy. This is His Majesty's paternal grandmother, the mother of Yeshimabet. Yeshimabet came.
Stick a pin 1 second. I'm wondering if her exposure to this Christ Irit consciousness is what made her now change her life and
To
become
that place. Yes.
to, you know what I
That's a
mean? Now
good
that
iris. Yes.
I'm just I saw it as you said it. I'm saying I wonder if because she's taking care of this miracle, you know,
Right, her
and
grandson. Yes. Yes. Yes, I.
which would have you know her fate would have been renewed and you know to the heights.
Renewed to be able to see. Because remember, this would be grandchild number 9, and
Haile.
all 8 prior to Lidj did not survive. So this is indeed a miracle on so many different levels, even for the mortal family. Um, and yes, so Yeshimabet came to know Ras Makonnen, to be a part of that royal family before she was Ras Makonnen's um, queen or wife. Yeshimabet's mother, Woizero Yeshimabet Georgis, was married to Ras Makonnen's uncle. Ras Makonnen's uncle would be Ras Darge, Darge, and Ras Darge would be the son of the ruling family at the time, Negus Sahale Selassie. This is His Majesty's grandfather, right? Sahale Selassie, the king of Showa. His son Ras Darge.
Stick a pin. Let me just give them a little bit of color on Sahale Selassie. This is a
Yes.
ras that was so powerful that he didn't even take talk from the rulers in Gondar. He had his own trade deals with foreign powers. That's how he was moving. You know, King Sahale Selassie
Yes.
built the Showan military into one of renown throughout the realm.
Yes.
So mighty that
Yes.
when Emperor Tedros came to to fight his son, you know, which is Menelek's father, you know, he wept to hear that he had passed
Mm-hmm.
because he was looking forward to fight the son of Sahale Selassie on the battlefield, and he ordered him
Yes,
to be
I.
dug up just to confirm and then gave him a royal funeral. You know, so the prestige of
Wow.
Showa, which was built under Haile Selassie, was legendary throughout the realm of Ethiopia. All right, forward to the
Yes,
eye.
I. Yes, I. So this is the son of the Negus that Dejazmatch Kwasi just so elegantly described, Sahale Selassie. His son Ras Darge was married to Yeshimabet's mother, Woizero Yeshimabet Georgis. Ras Darge, of course, would be the brother of Ras Makonnen's mother, who is Tanana Sahale Selassie. So coming from that royal line, Yeshimabet lived in the household of the ruling family, and the eyes just heard the glory and the greatness of the king of Showa, Sahale Selassie. She lived in that household with Ras Darge and her mother, and thus Ras Darge gave her to it would be his nephew, Ras Makonnen, to wed. This would be about, she was born in 1864. She was 9 years old, so it would have been about 1873. I've seen two dates. I've seen 1873 and 1875. But both ages of 9 and 12 are consistent with the customs and the traditions of Ethiopia at that time with the child marriages. So the one that I saw the most was the 9-year date. So that's the one that I went with in the book. She was wed to Ras Makonnen at that time. Yeshimabet is known for her immense beauty. Um, and towards the end of the reasoning, where I talk about her transition with the 10th child after the birth of Lidj Tafari, I will reason a little bit about this beauty that she had, but they speak about her in angelic terms, her kindness, her beauty, her compassion, and these are the attributes that Ras Makonnen saw even in her youthful days that really solidified their union, um, and their what I would say, their commitment to each other for so many years up until her transition with their 10th child. So much so did Ras Makonnen adore and love Yeshimebet that after her transition, His Majesty would have to go on, he would go on and be raised by her family. We'll talk a little bit in depth about that, by her mother, um, who was part Gurage, and also by the mother's sister, who is called Mamit, Mammit Balcha, Mamit Balcha. So the aunt and the mother raised His Majesty for a little time before Ras Makonnen took him and um, brought him to the monks, who would then train him and teach him gaze and all of the traditions that His Majesty would, take into the leadership of Ethiopia. But Yeshimabet was a constant companion of Ras Makonnen. He took her on many of the trips that he would take, in his own leadership as the governor of Hara. Um, and thus she was his constant companion and his confidant from that time to such time. So she grew in the royal family, and she came from her own petty nobility through her father's lineage as the former chieftain, or the chieftain of the Ilu people of Wollo, which is
And,
in Wollo is pretty much like the southwestern, I believe, southwestern region of Ethiopia.
and talk about why Showa would have
And
wanted to
I think
solidify an alliance with Wollo, or Wollo, the Wollo nobility. Talk about the importance of Wollo. Did you hear I?
the Wollo region. This is the region of the battle. I can hear the Dejazmatch.
Okay, give thanks. Continue,
Yes.
continue.
Can the I hear Dejazmatch?
Yeah, man, I hear the eye perfect. I hear
Yes.
the
So I
eye
was saying
perfect.
the Wollo region. Yes, I was saying the Wollo region. This is the region of the Battle of Adwa. This is the region where Emperor Menelik and Empress Taitu called forward 100,000 to the battlefield in this very Wollo region. So this is also the region of Empress Taitu and um, and Emperor Menelik. Um, the importance is that the Showa, in the time of Ras Makonnen coming down through the line of Haile Selassie, they played the role. They were the leading. This was the leading region. This is in times when the Negus of Ethiopia was a regional post.
Yes,
So you would hear things like King of Showa. This
yes.
predated the Emperor of Ethiopia title held by Kadamawi Haile Selassie I. So in these times, there were constant battles going on. Tigray and Showa, and
Mhm.
ones and ones fighting for um, power. within
Yeah.
Ethiopia. So what's taking place now is not new.
No.
It's very much a tradition in Ethiopia.
That's it. That's it.
You know.
People, I think, appreciate love
Right.
the peace that His Majesty brought to the realm a little bit more when you see, what's happening now, which is the status quo from the era of princes. You know, the
Yes,
Zemene
sir.
Mastafit, or the era of princes, which was marked by war. But as Mama Wlette said, when we talk about Yeshimabet, remember this is the barefoot realm time. This is not time when people are wear shoes. This is most of the nobility is barefoot too. You know what I mean? This is where you ride a horse or a mule, and it might take
Yes.
you a month from Harar to Addis. It might take you a month, over land and sea. So I want the people them to overstand the time. It's like you would have stepped into a time capsule. This is pre-industrialization in Ethiopia. This is when you're treading through certain bush. You have to make sure, say, you have some man with some rifle, because you don't want the lion them come rush you. You know them way there, because you're not in Nebraska, Mama Africa. You know what I mean? Hyena and them thing there run around at night time. So this is a different realm. I want us to put the perspective, on this. So the nobility, the kingdoms of Ethiopia were in constant fluctuation, and there had to be political alliances. And this is why marriage was so important. And this is why they would
Yes.
have
Yes.
wanted to connect with, the, 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 the father of Yeshimabet. He probably
Yes.
was,
The
lording over some
political, yes, political
troops
alliance. Yes.
or some valuable resource that the Shower family wanted. These were strategic moves that were unfolding. It's not just happenstance or, what I
Yes.
mean? These are negotiated relations. And as a young girl, you had no say in, who you were betrothed
Yes.
to, but you knew it was your duty to serve your family, so this wasn't seen as a sadness, as we look in modern eyes, as our sister in Dr. Asantewa shared with us. This is the nobility
Yes.
realizing that they have to do their duty. So in terms of Yeshimabet now, um, we always hear about Lidj Tafari, you know what I mean, and we don't um, hear much about Yeshima, but are there any pictures that survive of her or any material?
Yes.
Talk to us about your research and going to the region and what your experience was like trying to find information about Yeshima.
Yes. Yes. So I took the trod in uh might have been 2019, I believe. So about 6 years now. I trotted Asantewa, Dr. Asantewa Pang Wadie out of Chicago, traveled together with I went into Addis and were in Addis Ababa, came through Bole Airport, and we were there for a few days. And then I took the small plane to Kombolcha. So leaving Addis, Bole Airport, going into the region of the um, Gambele region, which is pretty much the Sudan, but there's a portion of that region that is, belongs to Ethiopia. So it's the Gambele people, the Gambele region, who are actually the Sudanese. So, and I stopped in the Gambele region and took another plane from there to Kombolcha Airport. And from Kombolcha Airport, I traveled to Desi, which is, the capital city over there in that region. We went to Desi, We toured, and I toured Desi for a few days. We've walked the floors of Empress Menin's grandfather, Negus Mikhael, the king of Wollo. So there's that regional title again. This is the king of Wollo, born Muhammad Ali from his Muslim heritage, but became Negus Mikhael. And we walked the floors of his palace, which I like to say, coming out of Brooklyn, New York, is likened onto a masjid. It looks like a Muslim, yes, like a Muslim temple. It had the shape, and the entire setup was likened onto that. He had converted to Christianity, to Orthodoxy, Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, but his palace was still built what looked like the traditional masjid, very large, and the shape. And I visited there, and I visited the home of, I believe it was Emperor Menelik II and Empress Taitu, because this is their region. This whole Desi area is their region, and from there, and I made acquaintances with an Ethiopian professor, Dr. Balcha, Balcha, and Dr. Balcha assisted Asantiwa and I, on the journey to get I to the Wollo region, which is the region of Yeshimebet Ali AbaJifar. Prior to trotting to Ethiopia, I met with the Wollo Historical Society, which is based out here in Maryland. And they also directed I that I should go to the Wollo region. This is the region of Yeshimabet. And they had actually told that I would see the remnant house at a particular area. And I looked all along the journey and didn't see that, but I were brought to the district leadership or the administrator for the region. When Yeshimabet was born, she was born in the area that was at the time the it would be the Bet Georgis area, which is part of the larger Bet Amhara region, in a place called Dolo. So Yeshimabet was born in Dolo. Dolo no longer exists. And a lot of the regions have sort of been either emancipated to where they're independent towns or cities, or they've kind of been absorbed into the greater Wollo region. So the leadership for the Wollo region in the area where I went is an administrator. Um, and I were taken directly to the administrator by the guides that took I. It was two Ethiopian brethren that Dr. Balcha organized to take I to the region. Once there, he took I to see some other things, but once I were able to communicate to him that we were seeking information on His Majesty's mother, on Yeshimebet Ali AbaJifar, right away he was able to um, let I know I were in the correct place. He took I to a school that bore her name. And I have an image of that in the book. The school is the Princess Yeshimabet School.
Mm-hmm.
He took I to the area where her childhood home would have been.
Mm-hmm.
It is on the grounds where there's a really big olive tree. and
Okay.
that's the marker. And this was some of the same information I had gotten from the Wollo Historical Society in this area. So I
Okay.
and I were there at the very place. It was a holiday in Ethiopia. So I and I were not able to go into the school and to speak, with the leadership for the school or any of the teachers. It was closed and there was no access. So the extent of I and I's experience with the school was really just the outside and looking at the steeple up top that bore the name Princess Yeshimabet School, 1945. Um,
Yes.
and it was built according to the administrator by His Majesty, you know,
Yes.
um, at the time. So it was in honor of his mother, and that was very exciting for I and I to see the name Yeshimabet and in Wollo. So I and I knew that it
Yes.
was, in honor. Yes, it was the Princess Yeshimabet that brought forth Lidj Tafari. Um, the whole experience was it was almost surreal to hear them talk. I have something in the book that I would like to read,
Yes. Go ahead.
Dejazmatch.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, if I may, I don't know how far ahead I should go. I and I are going to talk about the birth of Lidj and
Yes.
also the transition of Shimabet.
Yes.
So, should I pause until I go into the birth?
This is your journey. I turned over the control of the time machine
This
to
the
the
I want to transition to the
because
birth. Okay.
yeah, man.
All
Whenever they
right.
are
Give
ready. Yes,
thanks.
sir.
Yes, I. So give. So, um, yes, I. So, in the time of His Majesty's birth, right? The rains they began in Harad that July. So that would be July of 1892, right? Great clouds were again amassing on flat-topped Kombolcha. So Kombolcha is the region that Asantua and I visited through the airport. A few miles out from Harad, right? It was a wattle and daub house. So kind of like a mud flat, in that time. But we're talking about the barefoot time of the Ethiopian monarchy. It's a daub and wattle house with a certain Indian appearance around the outside veranda. The forecourt was crowned with guests. Guests had come from near and far because this is the time um, when a woman is in travail. Other women will go to her and salute her, saying, "Didst thou pass the night well?" Moreover, they will wish her well, saying, "Mary, Mary, restore thee with honor." And then, when the child is born, women may raise the cry of joy, "Mary is hearkening," nor will she need much aid. So the glad father will fire his rifle, if such is found, and drawing his sword will stretch it across the door for a space, while the older women raise up the babe to watch it. And before an hour has passed, one will have placed butter in his mouth, and the mother will lie tight, swathed in a length of cloth, lest her back, all of her. So this is the scene. This is the scene of what is taking place. And I can imagine in that country house near Hara on the evening that His Majesty, that Lidj Tafari is to come forward. So the arrival of woman after woman to give her loyal greeting and to gather around the mother's bed to discuss how soon the babe will be born and to give sympathy, encouragement, and help. Countless stories exist about the birth of Lidj Tafari. Most are unverifiable, and others are grounded in oral tradition. So this is one such recollection. On that day, on that first day, a stern-faced nobleman kept a vigil outside a round house of dried earth and ash, with a conical thatched roof of wattle wood, listening for the child's first crackling cries, breath and life. He wore a black bombazine tunic, against which shone a smart sword in a silver sheath. Around his waist was a bandolier three-handled pistol tucked in at his belly, and upon his head was an Italian-made fedora of stiff black felt. So a gun bearer stood behind him, cradling the man's fine rifle in a scarlet cotton sheath, holding it high above the swirling dust. Farther back from this pair, fanned out in a wide half circle. So let's think about fanning out of ones in a wide half circle upon the sloping hillock. So it was a large contingent of soldiers in ceremonial dress. Remember, this is Ras Makonnen's queen, his wife, Yeshimebet, about to bring forth Lidj Tafari, right? Each grasping a loaded carbine. Beyond this mass of men were tight clusters of peasants, prostrate and in prayer. The torrid breezes from the desert carrying their fervently chanted zimas, which are prayers, into the cool recesses of the house. Inside, physicians administered to days of priests clutching long malwamias, which are prayer sticks, keeping their heads bowed and their eyes averted, right? The servants fulfilled all requests quickly and quietly, but with extravagant care, knowing their very lives depended on their serving their mistress well on this momentous occasion. The mother was in the final stages of labor. As they forced back impulses to panic, the servants almost failed to hear the sputtering whimpers as the babe emerged from the womb, his tiny body steaming slightly. The awful tension exploded with a shrill bawling from the tawny male infant, and all concentrated on preparing the child for inspection from his father. That would be Ras Makonnen. The servant's eyes blurred with tears of relief as they washed him, anointed him with fine oils, daubed his thin lips with melted blessed butter, and their ears rang with the din of rifle reports of hundreds of guns saluted from every valley. The nativity of Tafari Makonnen, son of Ras Makonnen of Hara, under Menelik II, and Makonnen's wife, Woizero Yeshimabet. The child was a descendant of the biblical King Solomon and Makeda, the Queen of Sheba. Indeed, his bloodlines had been traced back to Solomon's grandfather Jesse, the blackest Jew the world had ever known. For several decades, Ras Makonnen chaplains and astrologers had been foretelling the infant's birth. Neptune and Pluto, they explained, had slowly started moving toward each other in the year 1399. Both planets traveled along the heliocentric line, taking 493 years to intersect. The moment would come, July of 1892, sparking off radiations from other zodiacal signs that would mystically influence which corresponded with the biblical house of Judah, Jacob's fourth son, who was born the same month as recounted in Isaiah. But before the birth, said the seers, there would be a great drought. This is the Kefukan, right?
Yes.
Dejazmatch, is that the name
Yeah.
of this drought? This is
The evil days.
the evil days. Yes, there would be a great drought in Ethiopia beginning in 1889. Even though the country traditionally enjoyed two rainy seasons. The eventual return of the rains would confirm the identity and destiny of the child. As it was written in Isaiah 9:6, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Jah, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. As Ras Makonnen entered the front of the house, he offered a solemn prayer that, unlike his previous offspring by Woizero Yeshimabet, that this son might survive his infancy. He then murmured some words of comfort to Woizero Yeshimabet, for which she thanked him meekly, and he departed on his mule. His retainers and soldiers followed close behind in the direction of Hara. As he neared the main road leading to Hara, a few raindrops stained his tunic. It signaled the end of a long drought and the fulfillment of prophecy. Ras Makonnen later took, okay, and I seal right there for now.
Okay.
So this is the action of Ras Makonnen as he, learned of the birth of his first child after losing 8 children with Yeshimebet. Lidj Tafari had come forward and signaled the end of the evil days, the drought that had plagued Ethiopia.
Yes, and
So,
I also
thanks,
want to,
Dejazmatch.
yes, I also want to paint the picture, because remember that because of her 8 miscarriages, there was whispers that she
Yeah.
was cursed, that she was carrying a curse,
Yes.
because all of the fruit of her womb was dying, and Ethiopia is a very, superstitious place. In addition to the Christian faith, there's a lot of traditional things. So the fact that Ras Makonnen did not try to distance himself from his wife also speaks of the how he felt about her. As a powerful noble, he could
He
have,
adored her.
yeah, he could have had his marriage dissolved on the grounds of that she's not fruitful, and taken another
Yes.
wife, but he kept trying.
Yes.
Also, let's explain, the reason that they had so many soldiers there is that Harar is a recently captured city. In 1889, there's a great battle for Harar that takes place under the order. Emperor Johannes IV orders Menelik to capture Harar and incorporate this ancient city-state into the empire. And there's a famous battle that takes place, and it's at that battle that Ras Makonnen distinguishes himself and is given the title and elevated, and as part of his reward is given Harar as a governorship. So this
Yes,
is also Ras Makonnen,
Ras,
go ahead. Hold on, we're having a little storm here locally. I don't know if it's storming where the eye is. I'm hearing the thunder
yes,
and the lightning
yes.
outside. You talk about Lidj Tafari, these things will happen. So the Wi-Fi is a little shaky. But say what the I was saying again.
I was
Say
saying, Wendy, I was speaking of uh, Ras Makonnen and
yes,
distinguishing himself, in his own right. He was Menelik II's choice for the throne.
yes,
Yes, Menelik's
yes.
daughter, Zoditu sat on the throne after her father's transition, but Ras Makonnen was a favorite. He was a statesman and a favorite
And
cousin of
that's why there
Menelik.
was rumors that Menelik was poisoned. There were rumors that there was something nefarious that they were trying to get rid of Menelik so that they
Mm,
could get Ras Makonnen from the throne. That was a
mm,
big rumor at the time in Ethiopia, that
yes,
foul play involved with Menelik, and a lot of them were blaming Empress Taitu.
yes,
And Empress Taitu was trying to get her family. There's no supporting evidence. His Majesty is very deferential to Empress Taitu in his autobiography, but these were the rumors that were taking place at the
yes,
time. A lot of intrigue, and because Menelik dies, Tafari, young Dejazmatch Tafari, is taken out of contention for the throne, and Lidj
yes,
is elevated. And one of
yes,
the things, when Lidj Tafari comes to the palace to study at the age of 13,
yes,
he says in his autobiography that he spent about a 7-month period where he was at Emperor Menelik's side at all times of the day. And all the affairs of court. He was understudying Emperor Menelik II, and he only stopped because he realized that Emperor Menelik had started a school for the nobility, and he wanted to study
yes,
with his peers. And Empress Menelik said, "I didn't tell you because I thought you'd want
yes,
to court and be important." And his mother said, "No, if learning a go on, I want to do some learning." You know what I mean? His Majesty is the original reading Ras family. I'm just borrowing the term. You know what I mean? But His Majesty is
yes,
the
sir.
Ras. You know what I mean? So talk to us about um, we're talking about the birth, but talk to us about what would have been the mental state as a mother, as one who has experienced some of the hardships of being a mother. What would be the mindset of a Yeshimabet? We have to remember, not having any children surviving. And I have a lyrics where I say one of the titles of his mice is that he survived out the
And
womb of Yeshimabet.
and there's remember His Majesty's brother or his half brother, Yilma.
Yes,
Yilma Makonnen, His
yes,
Majesty's half brother or his brother.
yes.
Yilma would have the birth year of Yilma was around the time that Ras Makonnen wed Yeshimabet, is what
Hmm.
I saw somewhere, that it coincided. The
Hmm.
marriage to Yeshimabet coincided kind of with the birth year or the birth time of Yilma um,
Yes.
Makonnen. So her irit, I think, as a woman, as a mother, Ha'ira would have been one. There may have been a little fear. She might have been fearful since she lost eight of her children did not survive. At least they didn't survive infancy. I'm not sure how long they lived, but they didn't survive infancy. Um, she would have wanted to have a child for her husband, for Ras Makonnen. It's written, they so adored each other. So she would have wanted to bring a child. Her husband, as the governor of Hara, her youth would, be a part of that royal lineage. So there would have been concern. She would have been prayerful, Ethiopia being the way that I know it to be, a very holy and iritical place. She would have been in constant Isis, praying for the youth and asking for, her youth to survive. And I see that that was the Isis of Ras Makonnen as he entered the house. He paused before going on to Yeshimebet and gave a Isis that this youth would survive infancy, unlike the 8 that had gone prior. So there would have been so much concern, a little fear, anxiety, anxious, so many moving parts to try to bring forward a youth that would survive, past infancy. Yeah, I can't even imagine the mindset of Yeshimabet having lost 8 children prior. And it's almost Dejazmatch as if she came to really just fulfill the prophecy because she transitioned with the youth that came after His Majesty. The
That's one
10th
of the things.
child, she transitioned in childbirth.
Well, that was one of the things I know our elders would.
Pretty?
No, I said that was one of the things that our elders would point to. Reading.
Dejazmatch? What did I say?
No, I said that is one of the things that our elders used to point to when they would read Revelation chapter 12 about the woman in the wilderness and the dragon that sat at her womb to destroy the issue of her womb, and that she would bring forth a man child that would rule the nations with a rod of iron and these things. This was one of the, coming into the movement, this is one of the things that they would associate with Yeshimabet not being able to have any other children but His Majesty, that that man child
Yes.
that would survive. So this is the tie to the prophetic tradition.
Yes.
Now many people don't deal with the Bible, but talk to us. That's very a good segue. You talked a lot about Mary, and for anybody who's been to Ethiopia, they would know that
Yes.
Miriam is venerated and
Yeah.
very essential, the female
Yes.
principle in Ethiopia. Talk to us about that and the significance in Ethiopian
Yes,
culture.
the lightning and thunder reach Baltimore.
Haile. Yeah, man, we're busting a seal here, Heretical.
We're busting the seal.
Yeah,
Yes.
lightning.
And
Yeah,
we're coming upon this is Celebration, Iowa, coming up
yes,
to the 23rd. It's always like this.
yes. He was
Yes, but
born.
Mary, Mariam and Mary is a very central part of the Ethiopian tradition, Ethiopian orthodoxy. In my early years in the trad, I joined the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and not because I was dissatisfied with my trad within the Nyabingi order, but I had high hopes and aspirations to live in Ethiopia. In my younger days, I would seek employment through the United Nations. I would seek employment through the independent schools. And it was recommended that I become a member of the Ethiopian Orthodox faith, and that I should get an Ethiopian name, and that church and state are connected in make my transition from the US to Ethiopia seamless. So maybe about mm, 27 years ago, I became a baptized member of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church Holy Trinity, and I was given the name by the Kes at that time, Samerti Christos. Um, and, I thoroughly read the liturgy of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and Mary is central. Mariam and Mary, very central to the liturgy and the traditions of the Ethiopian Orthodoxy. So this would have been the Iris of Yeshimebet. She has the Islam on the side of her father, and the Gurage and some Amhara on the side of her mother. And by 9 years old, she was already wed to Ras Makonnen. Um, and we know that, the throne of David and the coronation, all of this is done through the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Church and state are one in Ethiopia. So she would have been very steeped in these traditions. I read where the women would come and hearken, Mary, Mary, keep her near. They call on Mary to be a guardian or safeguard for Yeshimabet as she is in travail, with the birth pangs before her delivery. So Mary is central. It's central to the fasting periods within Ethiopia, central to everything that is Ethiopian orthodoxy. So these would have been the traditions of Yeshimabet and also Ras Makonnen.
Give thanks, give thanks. It's very, very powerful when you go to Ethiopia and you experience orthodoxy from an African perspective. And Orthodox in Ethiopia, there's no other, even the Orthodox churches from around the world do not practice in the way that the Ethiopian church practice, the bass drum and the chanting and the, very similar to I Bingi order in terms
Yes.
of the chanting and the outcense and this, all of these things that are very
Yes.
ritualized. So there's a big debate going online about whether Christianity is foreign and these things, but when you see it, you realize that this is within the DNA of Ethiopia, because
Yes.
of course all of these traditions come out of the Nile Valley, um, whether it's
Yes,
any
I.
traditions, yeah,
True.
you know.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
so continue in
Yeshimabet,
terms of. Go ahead.
I was saying Yeshimabet. I was speaking of her humbleness, to with her ninth pregnancy after losing
Yes,
8.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And also, she was in Addis Ababa, and Ras Makonnen sent for her after he had subdued
Yes.
Harar, and she made the trip
Yes.
to be
And
with
it was
him.
safe.
Yes, when it was safe,
Yes.
and she made the trip out to Harar to be with him. But Harar was notoriously, because talk about why they moved from Harar to Ajerso Godo, because His Majesty wasn't born in the city of Harar, which is the ancient walled city, but would have been very stifling at
Yeah.
the end of Kefu Khan,
Yes.
disease,
Was
but they went
was
up into the
the
mountains,
war
holy mountain.
the war taking place that has was in Ajersagoro, which is oh, I'm not hearing the eye so well. Is the eye
No,
reasoning about the war?
no, I was just talking about Ajersogoro, why they went to Ajersogoro instead of having the baby in Harar, the city.
Right. I'm not sure if that sounded as much. Was there the war taking place at that time?
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
no,
sure
no.
what was happening.
No, it was because of the disease from the Kefu Khan. It was
Oh yes,
really,
with the cattle, the dead animals and
yes,
everything. Yeah, it
yes.
was yeah, it
So
brought
Rasta
famine.
went up into the
Kefukan brought
mountains.
famine.
Yes, he went up
Yes, the
into the
mountainous
mountains because he
region.
thought
Yes.
the mountain air would be better for the birth, and it would be
Yes.
better, more pure for,
Cleaner.
yes, because they were
Yes.
very concerned about another miscarriage. And
Yes.
we have to be, we have to, so it's a miracle, he surviving, he conquered death from his first breath, and this was a epic arrival into the world,
Indeed.
you know
Conquered
accompanied by
death.
conquered death, and then accompanied, imagine, as a baby, your first, not only thunder and lightning and the end of the drought and that elation, but then also the gun salute, gunshot
Oh man.
around the countryside. You're getting salute from your touch into the physical earth. So this is the
Yes.
mystics of Lidj Tafari. It's not an ordinary baby. I love
Yeah,
myself. Yeah,
that was amazing.
I love myself, but
Hundreds. They said
yeah.
hundreds of rifles.
So you can see that
Hundreds.
is a special being entering into the earth. No,
Yes.
we have a slight delay, family. We have a slight delay because right now in our region it's thunder and lightning. Because the reasoning is so hot. So just forgive us. But there is a slight delay here going on. I'm gonna read some messages. Um, we have Bless Up, Rastafari Sister representing IET, Lion Pride on Patreon,
All
representing
right.
Big Up Yourself, Sister Emmanuel, North Carolina Rastafari Union, NCRU, Real Deal. We know that Queen Ifea, Big Up Yourself,
Yes.
Lion Pride on Patreon, same way. Sensi, big up
Yes.
yourself, Sensi, one of our,
NCRU.
yes,
I fear.
yes, El Paso, Texas, Juarez,
I.
tuning in, big up
Sila.
yourself, Johnny Johnson, Royal Blessing, Carib Can, Blessed Love, Ras Kwasi, Rasis, Wolete, Selassie, Jah
I.
Rastafari, big up
Blessed
yourself,
love.
Rastafari, some terrible thunder clapping at the forward here. Give thanks, Rasta.
Yes.
Pick up yourself, Julian. Johnny Johnson says, in 2025, in present day Ethiopia, little 15-year-old girls are still being married off to 75-year-old men who already have several wives, plus female genitalia mutilation is widely practiced as sexual something another.
Hmm.
You want to address that sound, Mama Wolete?
His Majesty, they brought an end to the child marriages. So, in disobedience, it continues. Did you as much?
Yes, I. You cut off. Continue. You said His Majesty.
I was saying His Majesty brought an end to the child marriages. They did away with the child marriages. So if it continues in 2025 in Ethiopia, that is just in disobedience that they
Yes.
continue with that tradition. That was a tradition. His Majesty eradicated slavery and eradicated the child did away with the child marriages.
Yes, it's probably some illegal activity,
We
and
know
it's
that
something.
Empress Mendel child marriages. So I
Yes.
don't know the accuracy, but if that is still happening, 15-year-old girls, um, that's just in disobedience, you know. I guess they figure 15 versus 9, you know, Yeshimabet would have been between 9 and 12.
Yes.
But, you know, for I who are not a part of it, or I that are on the outside looking in, customs and traditions of any people is always contrary to the beliefs of the West. I can't say I agree with a 9-year-old being wed or 12-year-old being wed, but it is embedded in the customs and the traditions of a people. This is what
Yes.
they did. It's
And, and
what it
and you have
was,
to look at that
you know.
perspective, because in those times, child mortality rates were very high, and a lot of people only
Yes.
might live to 40 years old. You know what I mean? Because of health and things. So
Right.
to keep your society going, as
Yes.
soon as the children saw their menstrual cycle, they were trying to multiply, because war, disease, famine, you might not live to 30, in those places. 30, in them time there was rough. It was a hard life in most of these ancient societies. So young people, but as the standard of living raised, so too
Yes.
age of marriage also increased. 'Cause most societies had some form of child marriage
Yes.
when you look at a lot, and that's because, again, child mortality rates are very high. Most children didn't make it out of infancy in a lot of places, and also,
What?
again, mortality in general. Go ahead,
But Dejazmatch Kwasi,
Isis.
yes, the I said that most cultures and societies had child marriages.
Mhm.
Rastafari have child marriages or had child marriages. A lot of times there is a disproportion in the age of the kingman and the age of the empress. It's leveled out a lot now. But in
Yes.
the early days of the trod, you would have older brethren and young, young princess, not 15 and 12 and those ages.
Yeah.
But it
Yes.
wasn't strange to see a brethren 45 or 40 and have a queen that's 20. You know the song "I'm in love with a man twice my age."
Yes.
That's
Yes.
those traditions have carried over to the Caribbean, to I in the West.
It's true. It's true. So
Yeah.
we have to put in perspective, but as the I say, His Majesty and Empress Menen ended those practices formally in
Yes.
Ethiopia. So we have to give
So if
thanks.
they're happening, it's disobedience.
Yes,
Yes.
it's disobedience. We want our daughters to at least go school and know themselves a
Yes,
little bit.
Dejazmatch.
Yes, I. Black Main Lion says, good to see a strong Rasta sister from the States, because many people are acting like Rasta is a
Yes.
Jamaican thing, but it's not. Give thanks for the
Dejazmatch, I
words
pray
of
thee. I have to
our
plug in
sister.
my computer.
No problem. Go ahead. Go ahead. Um, yeah, man. Empress Wlette grew up in Brooklyn. She was born in Trinidad. This platform, we're not a tribalist platform over here, so we feature Rastafari from around the world. So the I might be new to the platform, but the I will see. We have brethren born and raised in America, brethren and sisters from the Caribbean, brethren from the continent. Rastafari is a global
Yes.
fullness. This is not a tribalist platform in any sense. Johnny Johnson said, I was shocked in 1999 while traveling on the King's Highway from Addis Ababa to Shashamani to see a thousand female women carrying firewood on their heads and over 500 donkeys. It was very biblical delay. Yes, if you have not been to Ethiopia, go to Ethiopia, you will feel the agency when you come out of Addis, you know. And I know it's a lot of development, but you will feel it.
Yes.
Ras with a $2 attribution. Big up yourself. I always can depend on Ras for coming and drop a little strength. Ras sees the vision of the collective security and the every nickel make a muckle and the one cocoa fill basket philosophy. If we had 45,000 people come in and drop that $2, can you imagine what we could do with the platform? So big up yourself, Ras. You see the vision, you lead by example. Ras will come in and burn him fire and move, but he will always give him strength. So big up yourself, Ras. Always love the eye strength, love and fire, same way. Um, Johnny Johnson says, I was equally surprised to see many priests guarding cemeteries 24/7, especially where priests were buried. Many camels were evident also, and pure African cattle that look
I'm
amazingly
hearing you.
like cows. Okay,
Yes.
like Texas cows. Okay, okay. Yeshimebet, I understand. Oh, big up the legendary attorney Henry Shillingford. Big up if you have not seen his episode
That,
Asata. If you have not seen his episode, please go and check it out. He said Yeshimebet, I understand, did a pilgrimage to a holy church in her 4th month. One must remember she had 8 miscarriages. Some were almost full term. So we touched on that. Big up for that piece of information. We touched on that. Kebulan says, Empress Sound said, give thanks for the reading. And we're going to do a little bit more reading too. Ras Makonnen had previous child born from a previous marriage. From what I've picked up along, we talked about the Dejazmatch Yelma. Lightning and thunder. Yes, where we are in the DMV, lightning and thunder is rolling. The Wi-Fi is trying to keep up, but we're there. I give ties. I give Iris ties to the 6 region members of the diaspora AU who went to Ethiopia 1960s, 70s from the USA, EWF 12 tribe. Delayed blessing. Yilma,
Harvey,
Ras.
Nana Firaika,
Yes,
Jabones.
yes, a lot of ones made that trod. Okay, we have a lot of comments here. I'm gonna
Yes.
do a couple more and then
She
we're gonna
Empress Menin is from
uh
Wollo.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Her
that
backyard,
is
her
true.
playground. Yes.
Yes, yes. John Ja is love. All praises to our mother goddess Yeshimebet Ali. I am grateful that Dr. Wolete Beresford has uplifted her legacy in her research and writings. Blessed love. Yes, we have to support our
Oh,
authors
give thanks,
and
Marie
those
Nadine.
who are,
Oh, greetings,
yeah,
sis. Give thanks.
another one of our Haitian family.
Yes.
The highlands of Wollo, Habesha. Yes, I.
Yes.
Xmas in July. Beta is real, July 23rd. Yes, I. Hence the wallow neck
Yeah, we're so
tattoos.
excited.
Do I know anything about the wallow neck tattoos?
Um, no. I know about the Gurage and the tattooed mascal on the head. And the
Okay.
Gurage is half of the tradition of Yeshimabet. But the Gurage, when you see them in Ethiopia, it's the women that usually see with the tattooed mascal on their head. And the tattoos is Gurage tradition. Yes.
Okay. Talk to us about the importance of His Majesty representing not just the Amhara, because a lot of time people put His Majesty or Lidj Tafari just in the Amhara basket. But talk to us about the importance of him having multiple kingdoms in his
Oh,
bloodline.
say it again, Dejazmatch. I pray thee.
No, I said a lot of people put His Majesty in the Amhara basket because, of course, Ras Makonnen represents the House of Showa. But talk to us about what is the importance of all of these different kingdom bloodlines,
Talk
Goragi,
to
Oromo,
His Majesty's
Goragi,
blood.
Yes, the different bloodlines. What is the importance of their Goragi, their Oromo, all of these different
Yes.
bloodlines represented?
Yeah, the different bloodlines, so the at one point the Oromo were the largest or the larger um, group of people in Ethiopia, or they were in leadership in Ethiopia based on their numbers. And this is the Oromo. The Oromo come from a Cushite descendancy. The Oromos descend from ancient Kush. These are one and the same. The people, the Oromo, this is the Bremen Oromo. The Gurage, at one point were being heralded in Ethiopia because it was being said that the savior would come from a Gurage woman. And everyone at that time was seeking Gurage women to procreate with, because they were speaking about the blessed womb of the Gurage women. So at one point, I don't know if it coincides with even Ras taking um, Woizero Yeshimabet as his wife, Yeshimabet's mother. But in that time, around that time, a lot of ones were seeking Gurage women to bring forth children that would be the leadership or the rulers of Ethiopia. So, yeah, that may have something to do with Rasdage and Yeshimabet's mother. So, His Majesty's bloodline is Oromo, it is Guragi, and it is Amhara. The Amhara bloodline comes through Negus Sahale Selassie and his daughter Tanana Work Sahale Selassie, which is Ras Makonnen's mother. And this is the bloodline that His Majesty ascended the throne through the Amhara bloodline of Ras Makonnen. But I know that His Majesty celebrated his Gurage heritage, because in his autobiography, he writes about not being concerned with the affairs of Hara during his governorship, when he had to travel or he had to do other things, because the affairs were being handled by his very capable grandmother, who would be the same Walata Walata Georgis,
Gorgeous.
or
Yeah.
Walata Georgis, later Imabet Hoy. So he said they were being handled by his very capable grandmother. He also changes um, the name that was used to call the porters, a porter, like the porter at a hotel. You go to
Yes.
a hotel and you signal for the porter to come, um, to take the bags or to bring one of the trolleys so that the bags can be placed on the trolley. Well, in Ethiopia, the term to get the porter's attention was Guragi, Guragi. This was the work of the porters in Ethiopia. That position was largely held by the Guragi, and His Majesty changed it to Coolie, Coolie, which I don't know if at that time there was an influx of Indian culture in Ethiopia and they began to take over the work. You know how it transitions. In the US, it would be the Africans or the blacks that were the laborers, was initially. And now that the Hispanic population. I don't know if transition in cultures in Ethiopia where an Indian's Majesty changed the terminology from getting the porter's attention. Um, so I don't know if that had anything to do with acknowledging his own Gurage heritage, but His Majesty has those three bloodlines in him, even though Amhara is what is largely talked about because that was the ascension to the throne. There's also Oromo and Gurage. Yes.
And according to my research as well, there is some Tigray lineage there from
yes,
Ras
that would
Makonnen's
be
father.
from.
Ras Makonnen's father.
Yes, yes, yes,
Because
yes, yes.
remember that the Showa comes from his matrilineal line.
Yeah, that's Wolde Mikael. The
Yeah.
Wolde
Yes.
Mikael.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. Tigrayan
Yes.
also. So
So
yeah,
so he
it's four.
unites the major kingdoms. Yes, His Majesty is a representation of
Yes.
the unification of the major kingdoms of Ethiopia. And this is what they
Of
want
the
to hide.
I-niting, yes.
Yes. This is what they want to hide from the Ethiopian youths of today because this would be a symbol of unity. But because they try to paint His Majesty as just an Amhara
Yes.
emperor and get into the
It's true.
tribal vibration, you know. But His Majesty, and he uplifted all of these nations. You know, I remember a speech where he's chastising the Amhara people, saying that, you know, he's heard it said that Amhara people don't like to do physical labor. And, you know, he's telling them you need to get into the trades and you need to put your shoulder to the wheel, essentially. You know what I mean? Everyone have to
Yes.
work Ethiopia a better place. So His Majesty was not about the tribalism. He famously said Ethiopia must never be divided by tribal lines, and we see that that's one of the things that they did during Zena's Malawi time,
No.
after the Derg. You know what I mean? And this is some of the challenges we face in Ethiopia today. But we are remembering, we're almost at the 2 hour mark, but we are remembering Lidj Tafari. This is Lidj Tafari month on the Lion Voice Network. We have tonight special guest, Dr. Wolete Beresford. She is a librarian. She is a researcher. I want you to overstand when she's talking about she reached out to the Wollo Historical Society in Maryland. Them think they are not normal something there. This is a researcher. And I mean, this is someone who does her due diligence. She didn't just fly at Ethiopia. She started at home. So for the young people, you know, searching and doing research, this is one of the best that you will find, Dr. Wlette. Big up yourself for this because it's very difficult. There's not a lot of information on Yeshimebet, as I said. I cited her book in my book as one of my sources. And this is the
Dejazmatch. I would
yes,
like to give thanks.
go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead. Some terrible lightning on yonder look outside family. Um, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, Dejazmatch. Yes. You know, in the seal up, I'm gonna cite her transition,
Yes.
which is you know, documented by the person that wrote the Constitution for Ethiopia. He knew Yeshimabet, right? I wanted to talk about the stories about His Majesty in his youth, if I may. So at the
Yes. Go ahead.
top of that page, I cite Von Benjamin from Midnight, and the heading says, "Congratulations, alignment, celestial transfiguration in His Majesty." And this section of the book begins with innumerable stories have been told in relation to Lidj Tafari. And rumors cropped up in Addis Ababa that even Lidj Tafari's trusted personal counselors assigned to the child was terrified of him. Reluctant to shake his hand or gaze upon his stark features. His firm appearance penetrating almost black eyes, wild bushy hair or bushy locks, and perfectly proportioned frame asserted his presence. Tales began to circulate about Tafari's boyhood, the most notable concerning his supposed ability to speak to animals. During his youth, it was claimed that he was seen on more than one occasion in the bush conversing with leopards and lions and fierce jungle beasts, becoming docile at his feet. And I have all seen the eye traits. It was further stated that as a young student, Lidj Tafari was extraordinarily bright and confident at his lessons and had truly astounded the priests, Monsignor Jerome, his tutor, with the heights of his knowledge concerning religious and mystical matters.
What is this?
Not only could he quote freely from the book of Kufale, the book of Enoch, Hermas the shepherd, Yodet or Judith, Ecclesiasticus, Tobit, the Metshafer Berhan, which is the book of light, the sixth and seventh books of Moses, the book of Eden, which was secretly deleted from Genesis during the Dark Ages, all 31 books of the Hebrew Bible, the, the 21 canonical books of the New Testament, plus numerous apocryphal and pseudo pictographic books. On one occasion, a priest asked Lidj Tafari where he got his knowledge. Lidj Tafari's reply was he got much of it at the time of his baptism, conducted according to tradition on the fourth day of his life. The Kes, which is the priest who presided at the ceremony, had opened Lidj Tafari's eyes with the first touch of the Holy Chrism. Then everything that ensued was comprehensible to the infant as if he was an adult. He remembered the priest pronouncing his surname and then his baptismal name, Haile Selassie I. And then he blew softly in his face to ward off evil spirits. This was the infant Lidj Tafari. This infant Lidj Tafari claimed he felt himself enveloped by a golden glow as the priest began to anoint him. Water touching his forehead, breast, shoulders, and other 37 prescribed places. He felt his knowledge increase, filling him up like a vessel and endowing him with a great sense of clarity about creation and the final purpose of man. When the birds, the beasts, and even the insects began to greet him and speak to him, reminding him of what he already knew. When asked which was the first creature to speak to him, Lidj Tafari replied by requesting a sheet of paper and some pastels and began to draw but with exotic multicolored plumage. The priest was about to ask Lidj what sort of bird it was when he was dumbfounded by when the chief priests arranged meetings with him to question and perhaps catch him with what they suppose might be blasphemous mischief or pagan magic. At one of those meetings, Lidj Tafari is said to have made it quite clear that he was well acquainted with the rare manuscripts of Abba Aragaiv and other Coptic monks, known as the Nine Saints, who entered Ethiopia in 480 AD and founded the first monasteries in the Tigray province. He also revealed that he was acquainted with the occult application of Urim and I pray thee, Thummim and the mezuzah, as well as the use of magic words, gematria, and notralon in Egypt, necromancy, and also the magical names Adonai El Elohe. He exhibited familiarity with the Kabbalistic doctrines and the writings in Gilgamesh, the rituals surrounding the worship of Isis, of the serpent Ar, and the Abyssinian gods of the earth, Midir, which is the sea, Beher, which is war, and Maram,
Whole heap of esoteric knowledge.
but esoteric knowledge. It says, but
Forgive
and
the
the book of two ways. At one stage, an abnet or an abba examined Litfari's palm there. Ready?
it's coming in and out. The reception is
And
coming
the
in and
life.
out.
See,
Yes,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
the lightning and the thunder is rolling.
Pretty.
The lightning and the thunder is rolling here, family. We are touching some seals right now. We are loosing some seals in creation. So I hear the thunder
Yes.
rolling outside. But continue. Let's
Yes,
try our
I.
best. Lightning just flashed right now, as we said that. Try your best.
All right. Yes, I. True. Yes, it says Tafari further whispered a word. It says here that at one stage the Abba asked to examine his palm and saw stigmata there, and that the lifeline backed up on itself in an emblem of infinity. Tafari's father whispered, Tafari further whispered a word in the Abba's ear, and all color drained from the old man's face. He left the room apparently in shock, refusing to return or to speak to his colleagues. Tafari addressed a monk who had served in the cathedral at Axum, where the Ark of the Covenant is kept. Tafari described to him in Cushite the Kedusan, which is the holy of holies, Tabat, the ark is kept, recited various of the in church St. Mary in Axum. Right, close to fainting with shock at what Tafari had disclosed, the monk is said to have covered his ears and shut out these blasphemous revelations, and he and the rest of the priests hurriedly dispersed. Later, they made a pact among themselves to do everything within their authority to preserve Tafari's as he was belief. The stories of Tafari's childhood encounters with priests, his occult wise mind, and uncanny powers spread like wildfire throughout Ethiopia. And in 1930, as the country prepared to carry out Rastafari's baptismal name, Haile Selassie I, power of the Trinity, as his official title. Yes, I.
Yes,
So,
my
and I see here that, and it talks, so, I reason a little bit about the titles, which I'll call quickly. Talaku Meri, Abatakel. To the world, he's known as Lidj Tafari Makonnen, and this is the name until November 1st, 1905, at which time he became Dejazmatch Tafari Makonnen, and he kept that title until September 8th, 1911, at which time became Ras Tafari
yes, and those are the
1928,
Ethiopian dates you're giving us too.
at which time he became Negus Tafari Makonnen, and that was until November 15th. Dejazmatch?
Yes,
Yes,
I.
when he became His Imperial Majesty, King of Kings of Ethiopia, elect of God Himself. Yes.
Mighty, mighty. I really give thanks for
Yes,
this.
Dejazmatch. Give thanks.
I give thanks. We are at the 2 hour mark. So we are going to seal. You know that Dr. Wlette is a regular contributor on the platform, so you know that we will bring her forward. Now we get into the serious part of the episode now. If you look below, you will see her email.
Yes.
If you love the content, please buy the book. Send Mama Wolete email if you're interested. You have to include the shipping cost. She'll let you know what those
Yes.
costs are. And buy the book. Yeshimebet Books and Things is there. We're gonna support our Rastafari business. I don't want you just come and listen Mama Wolete and say she intelligent and she nice and we don't spend no money. Those days are done. Let us back the talk with action and let us buy the book. You know what I mean? I have my copy. This copy will be worth millions of dollars maybe. You know what I mean? It's signed. I have my signed copy. You understand?
Yes.
So get yours, support Rastafari authors, you know. This is one of our great researchers that we are able to interact with. Don't wait until the year 3,000 and you say, boy, Mama Wolete out there doing that great work. No, now is the time we can support. And I'm asking 45,000 people. I want us to give her some economic problems to fulfill these books. Give her 45,000 orders. Why not? Why not, family? Why we can't do that? When the guests come, we all spend $10 with them. Can you imagine we give Mama Wlette $450,000?
They could.
You know what I mean? What would she do for the community with that kind of capital? We have the power, and I want us to harness that power and not feel like we're powerless in this Armageddon. We do have the power. The power has always been with the people. It shall remain with the people. So let us use that collective security and do what we have to do. As I said, that one piece of thunderclap, may I tell you, we have bust some seals tonight. We feel it. Dr. Wolete Beresford, please give us your final sounds to the global family. What is your final sound on Yeshimabet, and what do you want the people? What are the lessons that we can learn from Woizero Yeshimabet? Yeah, here I.
The connection. Yes. Yeah. The reception, Dejazmatch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you hear I?
pretty.
Can you
I'll
hear
have to
I?
come forward to tell about her transition, which is in the book.
Okay. Can you hear I? Can you hear I?
I pretty. I
Can
can.
you
It's
hear?
a little skippy.
Okay. Just give us your final sounds. You can talk about the transition as well, and then give us your final sounds.
Okay. I wanted I to go into the transition, Dejazmatch.
Yes, and then give us your final sound.
Okay. All right. Final sounds. Okay. Okay. Is she? Woo, some
After
lightning
the
and thunder
transition, after
cracking
the
here.
transition, talk about the transition first, and then the final sound.
Yes, yes. Well, so the taken from video footage on Woizero Yeshimabet, and it's translated from Amharic to English. Librarian. I was able to get this through Asantiwa, Dr. Asantiwa Pangwadie, from a Ethiopian librarian at DePaul University in Chicago, and his name is Dil Eshete, right? And it's from the recollection of a private citizen. This is Fitwari Tekle Hawariat Tekle Mariam, who lived in her midst and knew her well, right? So Tekle Hawariat was in the first generation of Ethiopians to be sent abroad for education. He had a traditional education and then he was sent abroad. He moved to Hara, how he knows Yeshimabet. Tekle Hawariat moved to Hara as a young age of 9, and he lived with one of the retainers of Ras Makonnen. Right? That's how he came. When he came to the region, he had been compromised. He was damaged or had some sort of illness or something going on with him. And the retainer said it to Yeshimabet that he was not well. And immediately Yeshimabet said, to bring him. And when he came, his body was damaged or compromised. He was very frail, and Yeshimebet was so kind. He describes her in his own biography, and he's also the person that ended up writing the Constitution. Right? He describes her in his biography. Um, on page 32, he says he talks about her as kind, generous, and beautiful. Um, she was, he said she was a full bodied person. She wasn't very small. She was a full bodied person, and she had become injured. Someone told Woizero Yeshimabet about his dilemma, and she immediately appeared, and consequently, she ordered her staff to feed him at once. So, in his biography on page 45, he recalls, he recalls with incredible detail the heart wrenching way the birth of her 10th child took her life. His recollection states she was in labor and the curtains were closed. Now, in Ethiopia, and I know from research that males or men are not allowed to be in the space there as the woman gives birth. Right? So the curtains were closed, but they were lifted a little, but kind of down low. He said she was Mariam brought a midwife over, and she was sitting very close to Woizero Yeshimabet. He says I was sitting near, almost at her bedside. They were begging to marry and praying. I too was praying with the women, and at some point there was no noise coming from the child, and they took the baby to a different room. Habte Mariam began going to and from the room and talking to the women. They put homemade butter on Woizero's head, and she begged for a glass of water. She so when Habte Mariam said, "No, don't give her water, give her milk." When she tasted the milk, she became very upset and she said, "You made me break my fast." So this kind of goes forward to what I was blocking earlier to Dejazmatch Kwasi about the traditions of orthodoxy in Ethiopia. Even as she went forth to give birth, she was in a fasting state, and giving her the milk, for whatever reason, upset her so much because her traditions meant a lot to her and she broke her fast. So at this point, Habte Mariam asks for a priest to come that she may go into confession. She could not expel the placenta. She was very weak. Her body looked like it was being damaged. Habte Mariam gave direction for the midwife to wash her hands and remove the placenta by hand. The other women were surprised because they knew the empress was in excruciating pain and was crying out saying, "Please stop. Let me breathe." what did I do? Yeshimabet is questioning, what have I done that I should experience such a faith? She was becoming weaker and weaker, and she passed away in the early morning. Right? So in the book, His Majesty's autobiography, My Life and Ethiopia's Progress, she is said to have passed away at age 30 on March 14th, 1894. That's the transition time documented in His Majesty's autobiography. Age 30, March 14th, 1894. And she's buried in Hara at Kidis Michael, St. Michael Church, along with her husband, Ras Makonnen. Um, he further noted that the Derg had a high school named after her in Waterloo. Right? So I'm not sure if this is the school that I saw in Wollo in the Waterloo region, but His Majesty mentioned a school named after her in I saw that somewhere, so I documented it. Yes. Yeah, so this and that was
Mighty. So give us your
was
final word.
witnessed,
Okay, go ahead.
and he what you would say Constitution of Ethiopia, and he was in the first group of ones that was sent away to be educated by His Majesty would send them off. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
give thanks.
Trinidad. Okay, Diane Rodney. Yes. High
Yes.
winds in Trinidad.
Yes, we're busting some
Yes,
seals
I.
tonight. We're
So
busting seals tonight.
thanks.
There's a delay. Give us your final sounds, Mama Wlette. Give us your final sound.
The I Dejazmatch. The I said to give some.
Yeah, give us your final sounds and the
Yes,
lessons.
give thanks.
Yeshimabet.
So yes, I yes, we give thanks. I didn't say it in the beginning, but the assignment to do that work, to write that book about His Majesty's mother, Yeshimebet Ali AbaJifar, was indeed an assignment given to I by Kadamawi Haile Selassie the First himself. It came to I during me to write a book about my mother. So it had placed into my heavens, into my irids, and I repeated the sound, "Want me to write a book about your mother?" And I did. And that was the birth of Gurage, the story of a Wollo Princess, Yeshimebet Ali AbaJifar. So I always love to reason about it. It was a great experience. And, around this time of year, coming up to the July 23rd, I Liberation, Iowa, I'm always so excited to share the journey of Yeshimabet, in bringing forth Anijah and I King, Kadamawi Haile Selassie the First. And though her womb would have appeared to be cursed, as she lost 8 prior to him, it is indeed, she was vindicated, she was triumphant and had a blessed womb because she brought forward Kadamawi, Lidj Tafari, who would become Kadamawi Haile Selassie the First. So I give thanks to be an instrument because that was indeed was a mystical work, to be able to go to Ethiopia and to go to that very region where she was from and learn of her journey, bringing forth his majesty. It was very mighty. I give thanks. And give thanks for the opportunity to share once more, Dejazmatch. So,
Give thanks for the eye.
yes,
We're gonna have the eye come forward. The eye know
yes.
already
Thanks.
on a range of topics. Dr. Wlette is versed on a range of topics. Um,
Dejazmatch?
yes, greeting. Yeah, here I.
Yes, give thanks.
Yes, yes, yes. We have a delay,
Yes, now,
family.
yes.
Yes, yes, we have a delay. It's lightning and thunder. Serious weather system coming through. We are busting the seals. We are doing the work of the
Yes,
Most High, and the Most High is well pleased. Lightning and thunder salute, in Rastafari is one of the highest praise you can get for the works we do.
yes.
We
Highly,
live on
highly,
light
highly.
and yonder, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it
Get
means a
off the
lot to me
phone.
and I. We give thanks for
Yes.
the eye and the eye works, Mama Wolete.
Give thanks.
Um,
Give
we
thanks.
know battlefield, we still have so much work to do.
So
Um,
much work.
you know what I mean? And I always tell the eye it's been such a blessing for I and I family to encounter the I and the I family. It's just been a joy. Our youth have seen each
Give
other grow up,
thanks.
and
Give thanks.
one is just a powerful
Thanks.
um, iration. And this is why I have the confidence to do the things that I do in Rastafari, because of Irie, ones like the I, who have always supported, you know what I mean, and always been there. And whatever I can do to
Yes.
support the I works, I feel obliged. So I'm asking
Yes.
everyone
Give
watching this,
thanks.
get your copy. Hold up
Give
your copy
thanks.
of the book. Hold up the new cover. Hold up the new cover, Mama Olete. Can you hold up the new cover of the book? Can we see the new cover? This is the original cover. This is
Yes.
the $1 million cover we may have. But show them the new cover. All right. So brand new cover. Send her an email. You see the email on the bottom of the screen. You cannot get this online at Amazon. You have to get it direct from the seller.
Yes.
So order the book. I'm gonna ask
Yes.
Dr. Wlette how many orders she get. Don't embarrass I and I, please. I'm trying here. I'm trying my best
Ah,
to inspire. So
thanks.
support Dr. Wlette, support the Lion Voice Network. Find something to
Yes.
support our family, because it's our time now to go just from the talking to having
Thanks.
real power out here in creation in this Gideon. So family, how you feel? Lidj Tafari month, the mother of Lidj Tafari. We heard the story.
Thanks.
We are doing the work. We are here building. The next town hall meeting will be July 27th for the Lion Pride on Patreon. Join us and be a part. We are
Yes.
building an online community like no other. If you are a single brethren and sister, you're looking for someone to build with.
Après the Dejazmatch,
Yes, I. Go ahead.
I didn't hear the I. I was wondering what the I said.
No, I saying go ahead. Say what you're saying. I'm just doing my end of show spiel, you
Oh,
know?
nothing. I thought the I was talking to I. No,
Oh
no,
no,
no.
no.
No. Yes. Go.
No, we're just doing our closeout. Um,
Yes.
we give thanks, mighty, mighty, mighty. We are fully loaded with content. I've been doing a lot of interviews, so I'm looking forward to bring them to the eye. We have special
Yes.
guests, a lot of content. So please support the platform, support the work, support the mission. I have my ticket. I will be going to Ghana at the end of this year, so a lot of a lot of footage and vibration from what's happening in Ghana we're going to be bringing forward to the platform. So, yeah, man, we feel good. And we are continuing to do the work and to grow this manifestation of Rastafari independent non-aligned media. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the power to chant. Jah give her the power to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Selassie I represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Have the engine a run like mechanic. Room.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
The time has come for lions to tell I own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I Ras Makonnen hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Haile, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empress Men in Bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Ras Makonnen and Ethiopian.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Yo, this is Ed.D representing for Ras Kwasi and the whole Lion Voice family. Now listen this is the realest thing. Him closer to me than a brother. Him a me G, me a tell him I'm a lion. Me a go tell you how me feel, me a go keep it real. Me nah go wait till him lay down on the mark. Lion Voice never talk bad about me yet. Him realness me can't forget. Cause when a game time, him never bench me. Him never rise up against me yet. No, the friendship connect. It's funny how we can talk in front of a million people and never yet drop no catch. So a loyalty till death. Lion Voice, as Ed.D representing. Up, up, up.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
Greetings, this is Ras Shiloh. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Ras Shiloh said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, Tessa?
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to the lion voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.